Well, I got into photography when I was about 11. I had this little Vivitar 35mm fixed focal length lens, and I used that for a couple years. I took pictures of my action figures and my friends and landscapes and all that stuff, and my mom eventually decided that since she was paying for the film and the developing, that I should get a different hobby. So I just sort of moved over to painting, where I studied with a local artist named Stephen Schultz in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And through him, I learned a lot. I learned about color and composition and line, and eventually I finished up there when I was like 13 and, well, no, I was like 15 or 16, because I realized that I wasn't that good at painting. So I picked up a camera again, and I started shooting, and I started showing people, and eventually I got my first wedding when I was 16. And I shot weddings for a while, I shot portraits, and I worked my way up to doing some journalism and some ad work, very small stuff just for local companies. And at some point I met a couple of the local artists in Green Bay, Jack Dillhunt, Ray Kopfner, and they told me that I should look into galleries and I should see what I can do with my work. So I started presenting myself to galleries, and I was 18, 19 at the time, and I got a solo exhibition in Green Bay. No, it wasn't a solo. It was a shared exhibition in Green Bay, where my work was up for like a month, and just thousands of people saw it. And before I knew it, I was getting offers for art gallery stuff, and I was having solo exhibitions left and right alongside the bigger artists. And before I knew it, at about 19, 20, I was starting to come up among the more well-known artists in northeast Wisconsin. And eventually I decided that Green Bay, as great as a place it was to grow up, just wasn't big enough for me. It wasn't what I needed. So I started looking into schools, because I figured with digital photography changing everything, I would need a formal education to keep up with the game. And so I settled on San Francisco. It was convenient. My sister was out there, so I would have some help if I needed it. And it was also home of the Academy of Art, which was the best commercial art school in the country. So I flew across the country and I started my education, and since then my work has changed a lot. I mean, it's gone from sort of portraity, fine artwork to fashion, portraity, illustrative, conceptual type stuff, which is good. It's a good marketable look for a photographer. And so I'm out here, I'm doing the best I can. I have my first solo exhibition for March of 2010 with Owen Geronimo, who's a curator in the San Francisco area, and things are coming along. I'm still doing work for local companies and doing headshots and model tests and all that stuff, and I'm pushing my way through, because it's a totally different market in San Francisco than it was in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I mean, the competition is way more, but I'm not too worried about it. I think that I have what it takes, and that my work stands on its own, especially given what it came from. So I came from, like I said, a fine art type background to a more marketable commercial look, and that's where I'm at today.